Hey guys, it is Maria Park. This is ATN and welcome to Nerd Stream Friday. I'm excited because I have been stuck in this house due to this fracture. So I feel like my main source of communication outside of the numerous Zoom calls I have at work are you guys. So we're going to talk about some of the latest nerdy stuff that's going on in the world. And boy, I swear this week has been announcement central. So we're going to start with one of the biggest ones. And that is that Ellen Page is now Elliot Page. So Ellen Page came out on her Twitter and Instagram, I think every social media outlet that she has, saying that she is now identifying as he, them, trans male. Now, a lot of people have accepted this, but some people are losing their damn mind. And what I mean by that is when Netflix announced that they would not be recasting her in the Umbrella Academy as Vanya, they basically took to Twitter and they've been saying some of the most homophobic crap I've ever seen. And it's transphobic. It's a mess. It is a mess. And it's interesting because I don't know why they're doing it. So I feel like, honestly, there's a lot of transphobia, I think, stems from ignorance and people not understanding the pronouns. So, if somebody identifies as male, like I personally am married to a trans male. My spouse was born female in a Korean American household, which honestly did not go over very well, but always felt masculine, always felt like a man, did not identify with being female at all. Tried for a long time, but did not feel comfortable as a woman. Felt better as a man. And so some of the things that people are saying are, well, she never showed any signs of being, transgender before. And it's like, that is interesting because Elliot Page, he's a celebrity. You only see what Elliot Page shows you. So we have no idea what goes on in Elliot Page's house when we're not around. So this could just be news to us. The inner circle of Elliot Page's life have probably already known and understood this for a very long time. So it's just really interesting how people are losing their mind. And some of the comments are horrible. Like, how are we going to call you Vanya when, we have to stick to pronouns? And, I don't know how I feel about a man now playing a woman in a show. And it's just it's so messed up. But I am proud of her, or him now, sorry. I'm proud of him for coming out and during a climate where the United States is very divided and a lot of things are not accepted. A lot of people can't face reality and a lot of people were Trump supporters. So, it's very, very hard. So kudos to Elliot Page. I am extremely, extremely proud of her, or him, now Elliot Page. It's going to take some getting used to because I'm a big Page fan. So I got to make sure I keep saying Elliot and not, Ellen, especially since I think they're actually going to start going back in some of her movies, especially on Netflix, and change the credits, which is really interesting. It's cool. It's very, very interesting that they're willing to do that. So I'm cool with that. So Peter Dinklage is now going to headline the Toxic Avenger reboot. Now, I remember the 1984 version. I think the Toxic Avenger was played by Mitch Cohen. And it wasn't bad. It was campy. It was cheesy. But I'm really curious to see how Peter is going to handle this role. Because I know that Peter has really wanted to be involved in superhero projects. So I'm curious. I'm very curious to see how this plays out. I honestly can say, as somebody who loves comic books, as somebody who loves superheroes, when it comes to the Toxic Avenger, I'm not that big of a fan. But because of that, I don't have preconceived conceptions on how this character should look. So Peter Dinklage is fine as far as I'm concerned. If you don't know basically what the Toxic Avenger is about, basically it's a man, he's a janitor named Melvin Ferd who was mutated in like a toxic waste accident, and he basically becomes deformed and he becomes basically a superhero. it seems like it could be kind of fun. I'm glad that Peter's doing something that he's passionate about. I guess he's been wanting to get involved in this for a while. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing his portrayal of the Toxic Avenger. And I mean, I can't outside of the actor in Stargirl whose name just went out of my head. I'm like, who I thought would be a very good Toxic Avenger. It's going to come back to me. I don't have anyone that I've dream casted for this because I never really thought about Toxic Avenger. So I'm good either way. But I'm really curious if Peter Dinklage was not portraying the Toxic Avenger, who would you like to see in this role? Because yeah, I have no preconceived notions at all on Toxic Avenger, honestly. So yeah, but good for you, Peter. I'm proud of you. The next thing I wanted to talk about, because I know I'm rolling through the news so that I can just talk with you guys, because again, I'm strapped at home with a fracture. So COVID and fractures. So Starfire is getting a teenage goth daughter. Now, let me get her name right. It's going to be in a graphic novel called I Am Not Starfire. And her name is Mandy Coriander. I'm horrible with names, guys. So DC Kids has basically said that revealed that they're going to be releasing a story about 17-year-old Mandy, I'm going to call her Coriander, daughter of the famous hero Starfighter. She's a high school outcast. She's constantly trying to get out from under the shadow of her bright, bubbly, scantily clad famous mother. That's their words, not mine. She dyes her orange hair black and spends all of her days hanging out with her best friend Lincoln, avoiding the Teen Titans superfans and struggling to hide her feelings for the popular and pretty Claire. So I guess she's also a lesbian or bi. To add to her anxieties, Mandy skips her SAT exam. Instead, she plans to move to France to escape her family in the spotlight. However, things take a turn for the better when she is paired with Claire for a school project. Their friendship develops into something more, and Mandy begins to get more self-confidence. But then an enemy from her mother's past threatens Mandy's future, and she must embrace her superhero roots while also solidifying her own identity. Like the artwork for her is interesting. They make her look kind of chubby, but I think she's just really short. I think compared to her mother's very tall. So I think that she just looks really short. And I really want to know who her father is. That would be really interesting if it was somebody from Titans. Like, we all know who we think it is, but I would love to know who her dad is. But yeah, so I think I'm going to check this out just because the premise is interesting. We got LGBT representation. We got, a goth girl and, rebelling against her superhero mother, hates the spotlight, but she'll do it for her girl. And then we got an enemy that comes in to try and mess everything up. And I wonder if she got her mother's abilities, like all of her mother's abilities. It's just, I don't know. You feel like it's Grayson. I think it might be Grayson, actually. I mean, that's who I always think she's going to end up with. I always think that they're like endgame, no matter who she's having sex with, because she's with a lot of people in the comics, but I always come back to Grayson. So I feel like that is probably who. And I can't say she looks like one or the other. She definitely has her mother's eyes, and I can't go by hair because, again, she dyes her hair black. So I'm not really sure who her father is going to turn out to be. But yeah, Grayson is definitely who I think would be the daddy. But she looks super short, guys. Like, she looks like she's like 5 feet tall. Like, I'm 5'5". She looks tall. She looks shorter than me. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, I'm here for it. So let me know what you think about the name I can't pronounce, Mandy Coriander. Well, what did you say? I'm sorry for late. Have we already talked about Paige? We are, Abby, but don't worry. I will come back to it when I go through the comments. Anything that you want to say about her, put it in the comments, because I'm going to spend more time on the comments this time than I am on the actual news. So I'm rolling, though. Let's get on to Arrowverse. So John Diggle is coming back for 5 episodes total, and starting. Don't quote me on this. Starting with Legends of Tomorrow. I know he's going to be in Legends of Tomorrow, but I think that he's going to appear in that. He's definitely going to appear in Superman and Lois, because if you remember in the series finale for Arrow, he moved his family to Metropolis right after he found the freaking green ring. I'm I literally will roll over and praise the CW, especially if they do this right, if they make him Jon Stewart in these 5 episodes. I will retract all of the negative things I've said about CW writing if they make this man my Green Lantern. But I don't think it's going to happen. Because they said that John Diggle will appear, but they also said he's also going to portray a mystery character, which means he really could be portraying Jon Stewart from a different Earth. So I'm not trying to get my hopes up, but I really, really need this to happen because we've never had a live action Jon Stewart. I need to have a live action Jon Stewart. And honestly, John Diggle, he has earned it. So he needs to be Jon Stewart. I'm just saying, this would make my life complete if, at least where the CW is concerned, because after Crisis on Infinite Poop, they owe us this because everything from Crisis onward has sucked. And you're canceling Black Lightning, and you're not even rolling the cool characters over. You're giving, Painkiller his own show, but we're not going to see anybody else. I mean, come on. You owe us. I'm like, you owe us. So yeah. He's also going to be directing, I believe. I don't know if he's going to be directing Superman and Lois, but he's definitely going to be directing some of the CW Arrowverse shows. If we're still calling it Arrowverse, it's so up in the air. Some people say CW verse, some people say Arrowverse. I don't know. I really don't know what verse we're in at this point. I mean, it's so convoluted and all over the place now. And I go back to, if you saw our stream last week, when I had Blurb Without Fear or Ernie on, we were talking about how everybody in the Justice League picture from Crisis is pretty much gone. Like, the Flash is left, but everybody else is going to be gone. Well, Sarah, unless they cancel Legends, but everyone else is gone out of everyone because Supergirl's leaving. Kate Kane is gone. We got Black Lightning being shown the door, which sucks because he was only really in Crisis for 15 minutes combined. So, I mean, it's stupid. So I need them to redeem themselves by making Jon Stewart a playable character in the Arrowverse. Let's put it that way. That and don't mess up Jakeem Thunder on Stargirl because that'll make me mad too. Let's hope Jon Stewart is my favorite Lantern next to Jessica. Jessica Cruz is my overall favorite, but Jon Stewart has my heart because he's had it for longer. Because there was a Jon Stewart before there was a Jessica Cruz, so he's my boy. So Jessica Cruz is my girl. Jon Stewart is my boy. But yeah, so I'm very excited for the possibility that this could be a thing. But again, I mean, we're not going to know anything, obviously, till 2021 or late 2021 because of COVID. Nobody's been filming anything. So they just announced it. But I do know that they said the Legends of Tomorrow role specifically is noteworthy. So that's where I think that they might see a Green Lantern because they travel through time. And that means they probably also can go to different realities. So, of course, they go to a different Earth. And bam. And if you remember, I can't remember if it was Elseworlds. It was one of the crossovers where somebody specifically asked Diggle where his green ring is. So I need it. I need this to happen. So that's where I'm at with that, guys. I need it to happen. Another thing people are kind of upset about is Melissa Benoist. I'm going to call her Supergirl because I butcher last names. She was asked if she has any intention of reprising her Supergirl role in any other CW shows, even in a guest star, capacity. And she said no. And some people are like kind of upset about that. I don't really think it's a big deal. I mean, she's played this role for years. She just had a baby. She's married. Maybe she just wants to take a break. It's fine. And just because people say no does not mean that there still is a CW verse that she's not going to come back. I mean, come on. I mean, look at Steve Amell. He was willing to come back for a new season of Arrow while COVID was down to keep the Arrowverse going. And, he swore off playing Oliver Queen in Arrow after that, his final episodes in Crisis Poop, and Arrow, well, technically Crisis, because he really wasn't in Arrow much after that, because he was just burned out. And I think that's what's going on with Melissa. She's burned out. So, I mean, people need to cut her a little slack. She's not being a bitch about it. She's just tired of playing the role. It's like Tom Welling. Tom Welling played Clark so much in Smallville that it got to a point with him where he didn't want to do it anymore. And I get it. I absolutely get that. It's hard, you know, it's very hard to play a role for years. Like I think they had, I want to say Smallville went on for 10 seasons. I love Smallville. I mean, I need to check that information. But I really think that Smallville went on for like 10 seasons. And I think after season 5, they were having to talk him into doing it. So, you know, I understand that people are kind of like upset about the prospect of, you know, their favorite hero, which is also weird to me because, you know, Supergirl gets the most flack out of all of the Arrowverses for being sucky, which really doesn't make any sense because technically Legends, well, okay, maybe not then. I was going to say something, but I guess technically Legends is more of a parody or a comedy. So I guess it's not in the same league as the other show. So maybe that does make sense. But it seems like people were not so pro Supergirl. So getting mad at her for not wanting to reprise the role later down the road just seems kind of stupid to me. But that's just me. I don't know. And then I also saw this about 45 minutes ago. That's why I'm kind of referencing this because I always do my news ahead of time, but then things just happen while I'm doing streams. Oscar Isaac has been announced that he announced that he's going to be Solid Snake in the Metal Gear Solid movie. I mean, I guess I can see that. I'm looking at it because I know that he's going to. So I know he's going to be Moon Knight, and a lot of people were upset about that. Only because just so crazy to me. Only because you know. Of the whole, you know, Jewish versus Hispanic thing, they were just not happy about that. But I mean, I don't have a problem with him being Moon Knight, and I honestly don't think he would be bad as Solid Snake. I mean, I don't think it's really a way to be that bad with Solid. It's not Oscar-winning material, so I think he's gonna do a good job. You know, I think, yeah, I agree. His Snake voice did always sound very like overmodulated, artificial. So I think it's going to be fine. I mean, and the guy's been doing, Oscar Isaac has been getting work. I mean, he's also in Dune that's coming out next year. So, I mean, he's been working. So I don't think this is a bad casting choice. But if you guys think that there is, pop a comment and let me know why. Because I don't know. Wilbur, Tom was screaming, somebody save me. I love that theme song. You're not wrong. Like, you're not wrong. Well, to go back to Smallville for a second, Tom Welling was on almost every damn scene for years, which means he works 6 days a week, sometimes 14 to 16-hour days. Yeah, I'd be singing that song too. Like, and then he's the one that always had to work out in the gym. Everybody else could go to crap, technically. I guess technically Erica Durance couldn't because she was Lois and she's very iconic and she was the hot Lois. So she had to stay in shape. But I mean, honestly, everybody else could have gone to shit and it wouldn't have mattered. But Tom Welling had to be Superman built. And I think that's a problem. I mean, I keep thinking back to like watching Henry Cavill when he was doing Man of Steel and doing all those like, you know, really horrendous looking workouts and eating like a chicken breast and like broccoli for 3 times a day. And then looking at Tom Welling, realizing that he had to do that for years. That was literally his regimen. He had to work out like crazy and film like, you know, to look good on film for years. Of course, he was burned out. Absolutely. Now, did I agree with what they did to him, like making him give up his powers to have kids? No, I thought that was pretty stupid. Only because, you know, the prophecy in Smallville that, you know, Lex Luthor was going to become president and take over the world. And now you have no power, so you can do nothing to stop it. So yeah, it was pretty dumb. But, you know, Crisis was just stupid in general. So, but yeah. So I'm okay with this. I really am. I actually have no problem with this. Something else I thought was interesting is that Warner Brothers announced that they're going to be basically releasing all of their movies for 2021 on HBO Max and theaters. I guess like they're doing Wonder Woman. So how Wonder Woman's going to be released on HBO Max for free if you're a subscriber on Christmas. They're probably going to do something similar, like have a limited run and then send it to theaters for people who don't have HBO Max. So that's interesting. So we're going to get a lot of different movies popping up on the HBO app way before they hit theaters, which they should have done something like that with New Mutants. I'm still a little, I like New Mutants. I bought the still case. I've seen it 3 times. I have no problem with it. I mean, there are a little problematic things in it, but for the most part, I really liked it. I will post a review that I did with Blurred on that too sometime this week. But guys, making people see it only in theaters during COVID, I still do not agree with that. I think that is extremely stupid and it shows you don't care about people. You only care about making money. So that really bothered me. But it is what it is. That's just me. But the movies we're going to probably see on HBO Max will be the Dune movie, Matrix 4, Godzilla versus Kong, which I am really looking forward to. I'm also looking forward to the Mortal Kombat reboot because I love Mortal Kombat. Let's see. They also said Judas and the Black Messiah will be there. Those Who Wish Me Dead. The Many Saints of Newark, Space Jam, A New Legacy. I did not realize they had a sequel to Space Jam, so I'm learning something new, guys. Like I did not know. And of course, Wonder Woman, which will be on Christmas. So that's going to be interesting. That is going to be interesting. And I'm not opposed to this. Like I said, a good way for me for spending Christmas Day with my family, it would definitely be watching Wonder Woman because Wonder Woman's one of my, she's one of my crushes. Let's put it that way. But yeah, so good on you, HBO and Warner Brothers. I wonder how they got that exclusive deal though, that nobody else can get. Because they seem to be getting a lot of stuff released on HBO Max before everyone else. It's interesting. Now, they also had Mads Mikkelsen. I really hope that I said his name right. He's replacing Johnny Depp in Fantastic Beasts 3. And so he officially got announced, I want to say 2 weeks ago, as taking over the role. And then they asked him what he thought about it. And so while speaking with the EW, he explained how he made his take on the Dark Wizard. And it will be different from Depp's. But he's like, well, it's going to be me. So that's a difference. There has to be a bridge between what Johnny did and what I'm going to do. And at the same time, I also have to make it my own. And as for commenting on Depp's scandal, he's like, that has nothing to do with me. And I'm like, you know what? Good on you. Because I'm pretty sure he got some hate too. Because a lot of people are hating on Johnny Depp, which again, and we've said this in other streams, if he really did hit Amber Heard, that's shit. And he should be punished for that. He should be accountable for that. But if Amber Heard hit him back, then she should be accountable too. So the fact that he is losing all of these roles, especially Pirates, which I still can't get over how the hell they're going to do Pirates of the Caribbean without him, is just beyond me. But he's losing all these roles. He's not being hired in Hollywood. He's being slandered all over media, the newspapers, and yet she still got all her roles and is continuously being cast and is in negotiations to be in Pirates. That is that's a shit move. So 2020, guys, 2020 is a mess. But yeah. So good for you, Mads. And I really hope he's not getting a lot of crap for taking the role, because I know a lot of people that are hardcore Johnny Depp fans that are very upset about him being recast and having all this treatment and Amber Heard is not. They may be flaming him too. And that's not right, because he's just an actor and he just wants to get a job. It's just a job. So, and Amber Heard, I think so the petition they originally signed to get her off of Aquaman has expanded to get her off of everything. And it's exceeded 1.5 million signatures now. And I don't know why they're not. I really don't know why they're not doing it. Because normally, like, when somebody is problematic, they don't want that associated with their property because they feel like people are going to boycott your movie or they won't make as much money, because it's all about money. It's all about the money you make. So the fact that they're like not doing that with Amber Heard is really interesting. I don't know if they're scared or if they are just basically, because with the Me Too movement, as a female, I understand that there were important elements of Me Too, but Me Too also had a lot of problematic stuff too, because there are a lot of people that were using it and it had nothing to do with Me Too. But I think it set a precedent that, even when the woman is hitting the man, that she's protected him to that. And I hope that's not the case, because that's really screwed up if that's what it is. It's just another example of people taking what should be a very important, movement, and using it for something that you should be, basically held accountable for and punished for. So, but yeah, that's just me talking out of my butt. Just saying, just throwing it out there. But yeah, and then the last thing, guys, the last thing that I'm going to talk about before we start talking in these comments, guys, for all of you who watch Doctor Who, you watch Doctor Who with Jodie Whittaker. Bradley Walsh and Tosin Cole have confirmed that they are exiting this season. Oh, they're taking my Graham away. I love Graham. Ryan's cool too, but I love Graham. Graham is my man. I mean, I really love this man. He actually was the comedy of that. Like the scene where he actually met Captain Jack for the first time and Captain Jack kissed him. Fucking hilarious. Hilarious. I am so sad that they are leaving. And I know that's weird because I know it's, and if you're a Doctor Who fan, you know they've had 2 to 3 companions before in series. But I mean, I don't know. I really liked the companions. They're really one of the only things I've liked so far about the Doctor Who series. I have no problem with Jodie Whittaker. She has potential to be a very good doctor. The writing's just not that great for the series. I just have to be honest with you. I am not one of these people that's like rabid about this stuff, but I'm telling you, it's interesting. The writing is interesting. I mean, it retconned a lot of stuff. It's like when John Casita was like, I'm just going to retcon everything in Marvel and starting with Spider-Man. And like, it's basically somebody just came in and said, Doctor Who's been on for years, decades, really, took a break, came back. Let's just F all that and create our own like genre. We'll start from right now and write our own shit. It's like that comic book you wish would go away. And that's pretty much what the plot behind this Doctor Who series is. I don't know what the new series is going to be like, but I'm hoping it's a hell of a lot better than what we got. But I'm just so sad that we're going to lose, Ryan and Graham, especially Graham. I love Graham. I love Graham. Graham is like the voice of reason when they're all running out of the TARDIS. And he's like, why are we running out of the TARDIS? That seems stupid. Like, breaking my heart, guys. But yeah, that is the news. We had a few updates this week. I know Friday is the day to get updates. I know as soon as this stream ends today, we'll have 5 or 6 more things that are talked about. But yeah, that's what I got. So let's see what you guys are saying. So David Tennant is probably my favorite. Yes, David Tennant is. Well, I will say I do love Matt Smith's like speeches. And I think he got the best Doctor music. Like his theme was amazing. Like it was just so charged. You knew when you heard it, the Doctor was about to do some shit. So I loved that. Now my mother watched Doctor Who as a child because, she's from Scotland and that was pretty much what they did. And so I knew Tom Baker before I knew David Tennant and Christopher Eccleston and all the other Doctors. I have no problem with any of the Doctors, honestly. All of them are fine. They're all different. They're meant to be different. I know some hardcore fans were pissed when they cast a woman, not just Jodie Whittaker. When they cast a woman, they were like, the Doctor can't be a woman. I'm like, well, technically, the Doctor can be whatever it wants to be because it's not human. Not human. But the writing did not help. They had a few good episodes, but like a lot of the episodes were just not good. So yeah. I'm really hoping we get something better. Wilbur Robinson, you said that's what it is. You're talking about the Me Too? I bet you that's what it is. I think everyone's so scared to be the one that's called out as, against women, anti-feminist, homophobic, racist. And honestly, there are a lot of racist, homophobic, and male chauvinistic assholes out there, but not everybody. And if there is a woman out there that's doing something as effed up as what they're accusing Johnny Depp of doing, she should be held accountable. Just what it is. So it's stupid. I just started Doctor Who. Yeah, you behind, man. You're You got a lot. You got a lot to catch up with. I took the ride with Supernatural. Oh, good for you. I think I stopped at season 5. I am so behind, guys. I'm so behind. But Jam, one of the co-hosts on ATN, she is a Supernatural encyclopedia. So she's going to review the last season. So no worries there. And I think I'm going to have, just because I know it's going to piss him off, her husband, who is another ATN co-host and a good friend of mine. You've seen him, Jet Crew. I love his anger reviews for Doctor Who. I just love him so much. He gets very passionate and he's like, basically like, what the hell is this? I'm like, what is this? So yeah, that is something I'm looking forward to when the series starts again. I have not started doing my Star Trek Discovery reviews yet. I figured I'd just review the season and just watch it all in one bulk because I don't like having to wait for CW to release it. Not CW, CBS all access to release the episode and take notes. It's just a lot. So no, I will do an overview. I still haven't done my Picard overview too, and I'm going to tell you why. It's because I still don't know how I feel about it. I'm so confused about some things, and I don't know how I feel about it to actually do it. And I know season 2 of Picard is going to start filming in January, and I'm so like I just sit here and I think about all these things that happened. And I think about the characters we love from TNG. And then I separate that because I've learned as a nerd in any fandom, you cannot hold the original to any biblical, totem pole or, stature, because they're always going to come behind you and they're going to retcon something or they're going to do something completely out of character than what the OG series is. Like, a lot of stuff taught me this off the top of my head. Gundam Seed taught me this. Gundam Seed and Gundam Seed Destiny to me were that's like the perfect example of a show that was amazing that just went to what the fuck, like very quickly. So I know that Picard, it's years later. It's just some things for me are hard. It's hard for me to wrap my mind around. Like, Riker and Deanna. And I don't want to spoil anything if you haven't seen it. So just things that the characters do in the show, I'm just like, I don't understand, because in the OG show, you would have moved heaven and earth to do certain things. But yet here you're like, meh, when it really matters, when it really affects you, you're like, meh, like, I just can't. So yeah. Yeah. I do have a little announcement though. So have you guys seen Power Rangers Unworthy, the web series, the Power Ranger web series on YouTube? Because if you have, I'm going to have the creator and possibly some of the cast, we're talking about that now, in a video where we're going to talk about Power Rangers Unworthy. Why, it was written, why, it was chosen to be on the YouTube platform, how casting went, where is it going to go from now? So if you are a fan of Power Rangers Unworthy, that video should be coming up very soon. So yay, I'm very excited for that. Also, I have our part 2 of Crisis on Infinite Earth is almost done, and that is the voice stream we do. So guys, when you, I actually have Blurred Without Fear in this one too. I have 2 new cast members that have joined us for Crisis. So we have Blurred Without Fear, and then we have another voice actor that I know, named Jesse, who is absolutely hilarious in this. So, so yeah, Crisis on Infinite Earths, the parody live stream will be, well, it won't be a live stream, but like live read will be coming up. I'm trying to make it for next Thursday, because I'm trying to get everybody. What we normally do is we record it all in Zoom. This time we did it in StreamYard. But we record it live. We do a few takes, and they're always hilarious because something always happens. And then we do a perfect take where I get everybody to just send me their lines, and then I edit it to pictures and animations or whatever. So, but yeah. So once I get everybody's lines in, which should be soon, I will finish editing it, and then I will upload it for your insane entertainment, guys, because it is effing insane. So be on the lookout for that. Is River going to be on my art team? Yes. River is always on my art team. River is my art team. I'm lucky that I'm in a family where we all can draw, we all can paint. But River is just the best one of us all. So River can draw like many different forms and styles. Once I can get River into digital art, that would be great. But yeah, River will be on my art team. Let's see, an ideal quarter life jam. Yeah, I liked well, I liked my character too, because Tasman's hair, like that style, I do that hairstyle all the damn time. So I'm like, you drew my hair right. I was really excited. The only difference was I was made more Asian. I'm only 6% Asian, according to my 23andMe. No, I'm 9% Asian. But yeah, I think that my character is absolutely hysterical. Completely stupid, but absolutely hysterical. But yeah, I need River to do most of the art because I write and I direct and I cast everything and I edit it all. So if I had to do the art too, I would burn out. Like, especially since I do too many projects at once. So yeah. Let's see. Let me scroll up here. 1.5 million signatures is a lot. Yes, it is. I am really flabbergasted that they have not fired her. I mean, look at Dibney. You know, he got. Well, I'm trying to think of somebody even besides the Flash. Who else got booted out for cancel culture? I know there was somebody recently. I keep thinking about people that lose their jobs over this, and like Amber Heard's just kind of running around, living her best life. That's so messed up, you know? It's really messed up. I mean, domestic violence is a real thing. You know, I know it's not verbiage. It's not throwing out, you know, racist comments or being a homophobe or being transphobe or being whatever. But you still put your hands on someone and they put their hands on you. And if that's true and they beat the crap out of each other, then you're still guilty. I just don't understand. I don't understand how anything works. I don't understand that anything works at this point in this country. I really don't. I'm so down for Mads as Grindelwald. I am too. I think he's going to do a really good job. I just feel so bad because Johnny Depp was actually really good. He's really good. He's a good actor. I've seen him play serial killers. I've seen him play playboys. I've seen him play British. I've seen him play, you know, somebody with autism. I mean, there's so many genres that Johnny Depp has portrayed. He is literally a character actor. And I just really like them. But yeah, you know, what can you do? To be fair, I'm not a big fan of David Hayter. Is that how you say his name, Hayter? I'm so bad at last names. I want Jon Stewart. And I figure since David Hayter was in the beginning, he was in the first episode of the creation of the Arrowverse. And he stuck through it, through all of these seasons without leaving. Because how many people have left and come back in that show? Hell, even Felicity's actors didn't make it to the last season. So I have to give him mad respect for hanging in there all that time. And also, he effing deserves to be Jon Stewart. He just does. Let me see here. Jeremy Renner was almost a victim just because of an unverified statement made by his ex-wife. Yeah. Well, then that's the problem in general. When you're a celebrity and you have a platform and then you piss your ex off. Yeah. Bye. Like, that's just what happens. It happens throughout, like, look back in historically before we even had social media. It was in the newspapers. People like, he cheated on me. Or my husband talks to aliens, and this is all kinds of shit. It's not good. So yeah, cancel culture is very toxic. I understand the need for it at times, but it's just very toxic. And we don't know what happens behind closed doors. We just think we do. We read these articles and then we see these tweets and we see these Instagram posts and we're like, ha, they're an asshole or she's a bitch. And like, you don't know a damn thing about them. Nothing. You know what people have said and what they have shown you publicly. It's crazy. Let's see. It's like the old saying, be careful of the bridges you burn. Yes, ma'am. Hell, stay off the bridge. And to be fair, celebrities know what they're getting into when they become celebrities. They know that their lives are no longer their own. And it's sad, but I mean, it's the price of fame. You want the riches, you want the notoriety. Unfortunately, you get the bullshit too. Remember when we didn't have a bunch of superhero shows, when we were happy just to get a movie in the theaters? I know, right? Now everyone's like, MCU Phase 4 is delayed. What? How will I live? Oh, I know, Disney Plus. Yeah, I know. I'm old, so I will be 44 on Tuesday. I love saying that, though. It means I made it this far. And I remember when I had a VCR player. Like, I had a VCR player, and then I got so excited when I had a VCR and DVD combo. That's old. Like, all of my Sentai that I would get from Japan was not subtitled and on VHS. So was a lot of the anime. But that's fine. Thank you. Wilbert Robinson, we've already determined that we are related in some way. And now that I know that you're a Sagittarius, I'm even more convinced. So there are a lot of Sagittariuses that help me out with my channel. So Blurred is a Sagittarius. His birthday is 2 days after mine. Groove is the day before mine. Joe's Geek Show, who helps a lot, his birthday, it was on the 3rd. I have 2 other actors. They're in December. I can't remember their actual birthdays, but they're Sagittariuses. And now Wilbur Robinson, Sagittarius. I'm telling you, we are one of the best astrological signs because there's just so many of us. And we talk a lot. So there's that. Millie Bobby Brown recently had a pretty awful encounter with an intrusive fan. I'm sure. One of the worst ones that I've heard is when, who was it? Paula Abdul said she came home one day and there was a man in her bathtub. I'm like, walk in, walk your ass right back out. Like, and that's why she's moved so many times. She had a very bad stalker for years. Even when she was on American Idol, she was being stalked, I heard. So yeah, fans be crazy, guys. They be crazy. I was trying to scroll up. Sorry. Okay, so Melissa should have the discretion to choose her own roles. She may not want to be typecasted as a bubbly hero. I know. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like the fans typecast you regardless of what you do. Like, look at Tom Welling. Tom Welling was on Lucifer. He's done a couple of movies, but he's always going to be Clark Kent. He's always going to be the man who never wore the Superman suit except for in the CG. I guess they CG'd it on him, but until the very end of the series, but he was always TV's Clark Kent. And a lot of people never realized. They never realized. And I don't know why, because it's very easy to research. They didn't realize that there was a Superboy series way before there was a Smallville series. But back in the early 90s, late 80s, there was a Superboy TV series. And Stacey Heideck was Lana Lang. So yeah, there's that little morsel for you right there. Okay. Is John going to be in the big Green Lantern show that's going to be on HBO Max? I don't know. They're being so effing close knit with the information. Like I honestly don't know. I feel from what I've heard, they are going to try to have a black female lead, which I thought is interesting. Now that could be a rumor, but that's what someone told me. And if that's true, I am down for it. I don't know if it's going to be anybody that we know, and this could be a made up character. And that's the thing. Whenever they do their own thing, instead of taking somebody canon, they do, they just create a whole other universe, a whole other character. Or they take the smallest insignificant person that sat 3 rows in the back and make them the star of the show. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm going to check the pilot out for sure. I'm definitely going to review it, but I'm really looking forward to seeing how they pull this off. I'm just worried about it. But Jon Stewart absolutely should be in this damn show. We should have cameos from Kyle Rayner and some of the other ones too. There's so many that we should have cameos from. But yeah, I don't know. My secret hope is that it's Roy Harper. Well, if Starfire wanted to get it on with Ray. But that would be extremely weird. Like, huh. I have to think about that one. Is that before? Didn't he have a heroin addiction? Is that before the drugs or after the drugs? Because I mean, I could see that before the drugs. It was a one night stand and she got knocked up. Let's see here. Hate to hear about your injury. Wishing you a quick recovery. Thank you. If you see me moving around a lot, it's because I have to prop my leg on this chair, and it is not comfortable. But I'm gonna live with it. I have no idea who the Toxic Avenger is myself. The Toxic Avenger is basically a man who fell in toxic waste and got all mutilated and became a superhero. And there's not a lot to him, really. But again, I love different interpretations of stories. So I think it can be done correctly with Peter Dinklage. I'm just curious to see how they would do it. I think Peter's even trying to produce it. I'll have to go back and look at it again, but he's definitely going to be the Toxic Avenger. So, hey, it gets you a job. It's job security. It's a superhero movie. So what the hell? Let's see here. Sorry. Every time you guys, I swear this thing likes to move on me. I don't know why. I'll be in a space and then it's just gone. Let me see. I'm a street performer, so only locally famous, and get people coming up, taking pictures or filming me as I dance, and I just ignore them. Humans get bored when you pay them no mind. That's true. And honestly, in social media world, when the next biggest story comes out, they're going to forget all about this shit anyway. So it's like, oh, you did this? Oh, wait, but he did that. And then they're just gone. So there's no loyalty. Like, nobody cares about you that much, even when you're a celebrity. Not enough to talk about you 24/7, 365 days a year. Paparazzi get kind of crazy though. Yeah, paparazzi, but that's what they get paid to do. They get paid to get in your face. And that's why it's so weird. Like, celebrities make a lot of money. A lot. A-list celebrities make a shit ton of money. But with that, with the fortune and fame comes the paparazzi. Because if you're getting paid all this money and you're in the spotlight all of the time and you have to go in the spotlight to promote whatever you're in and whatever you're doing, you have to understand that what comes with that is also the negative side. People want to pry into your life. And it's not like a normal job. It's not like an office job where you go to work. Like, nobody's going to be standing outside of a bank with employees coming out saying, who are you screwing this week? I mean, it's just not going to happen. But because these people have put themselves in the spotlight, then it greenlights the paparazzi to get into that light too. And it's not, there should be some form of privacy. Everybody deserves that. But this is a job you chose and you knew going in. And I will say this, when celebrities are very, very big and A-listers and then they fall from fame, they're craving the paparazzi to talk about them. So it's kind of like, it's a double-edged sword. So it's a mess. Hey, never forget our tour entertainers, groupies in the room waiting for them when they get to the hotel room without any prior knowledge. True. I think most people look several years younger than they actually are. I'm in my early 30s and people still think I'm in high school. Yeah, I get out every age in the book. Me and River do not look like we're in our 40s at all. And I love it. And when I don't wear makeup, I look younger. So my daughter, every time I go anywhere with my daughter, when I was allowed to leave the house, people always thought she was my sister. I remember taking her to PTA meetings and people are asking me, or they would say things like, you're so supportive. Not many siblings would come to a PTA meeting. And I'm like, okay. So yeah. Let's see. And these are fellow Koreans mistaking my age. I mean, it makes sense. Like they say, black don't crack and Asian don't raisin. So we got both of them in this house. So I get it. Anyone else get a little happy when someone IDs you? Depends on what they're IDing me for, Robert. Like, let's see here. Sorry, it scrolled up again. Oh my God, people. It's not you. It's definitely the program I'm using. I have that. Everyone thinks I'm in my 20s. And when I was in my 20s, I thought I was in high school. Black and Indian don't crack, baby. I got them Asian don't raisin and black don't crack genes. Yes, you do, ma'am. Yes, you do. I love 23andMe. I know we're off topic, but like my stuff is like 3 pages long. And like I am so much Asian on one side, but then I have like a bunch of Native American, which makes sense. My grandfather was Apache. Then I have like every region of Africa. And then I have like 6 regions of Europe. So, but most of my European is in Scotland, but I do have a bunch spread everywhere, but it makes sense because my mother was born and raised in Scotland. So it is what it is. But I saw the Asian. I'm like, this makes so much sense why I'm not aging fast. I'm like, because I have Black, I have Asian, and I have Native American, the 3 that actually do not age the fastest. So I'm like, lucky. Let me move down. Hello, Maria. Feeling sick, but glad I caught this room. Oh, Kevin, what's wrong? No, you're not allowed to be sick. The Toxic Avenger even had a cartoon series. It did. Everything's had a cartoon series. Remember, what was it? Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Like, no. Think the funny face guy from the Goonies, but dripping green. Yes, that is a very good way. And not asking for Hershey bars. That is a very good way of describing the Toxic Avenger. Let's see here. Asians in their 20s are super scary for me. I'm like, you cute, but I'm going to need to see some ID. And always check out the K-pop boys' age before I start to lust. I mean, I get it. I get it. Let's see here. It's the cosmetics. Even the guys are super serious about skincare in Korea. I know. They have better like regimens than I do. I remember when Shiny came out and I was so mad. Timon was 16 and I was 25. 2 years later, he's legal now. I laugh out loud. I sound creepy. It's all right. I'm in my 40s and I like I like Korra from Legend of Korra. And she's not even real. So I mean, it's fine. You do you, boo. Let's see here. Hi, Nicholas. I got the black dork crack. I got the black don't crack. Nicholas, you have the black don't crack. And your mind doesn't crack either. I'm so impressed. And the Indian Cherokee. I just got off work. Well, welcome to the stream. All right. We were talking about Elliot Page earlier. I know some people missed it. So I'm just reiterating what I said earlier because I kind of ran through the stories really quickly. So Elliot Page, formerly known as Ellen Page, came out as transgendered, which I'm here for because I would be a hypocrite not to be because I'm married to a trans male. So just saying. But a lot of people there's a lot of people though being supportive. I got to keep saying that. She's getting a lot of support. But there are a lot of people that are butthurt because they don't know what to call her anymore. And they're like, well, you're still going to be Vanya in the Umbrella Academy. And how are you going to play a girl when you're now a guy? And yada, 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 yada. And it's just the homophobia and the transphobic reactions are very irritating. And I feel very bad for her. The one thing that I hate, though, and I hate this across the board, I don't care if you're in the LGBT community, if you just suddenly found out something about yourself that everyone's like, that's not who you are. I don't get why people feel the need to tell you who you should be and who they've seen you as over the years. Like, when like I'm pansexual, I don't care about gender, but if I traditionally only dated men and then all of a sudden, I date a woman, they're like, oh, you've never shown interest in women before. I'm like, just because you've never seen me with a woman did not mean that I was never pansexual. It just means I had met a woman that I was dating, the way I wanted to date. It's stupid. So for them to say Ellen or Elliot Page just all of a sudden woke up one day transgendered, it's stupid. It's just stupid. It bothers me greatly because we don't know Elliot Page. Elliot Page could have been transgendered the whole effing time at home in the privacy of their home. Why do you think that by you watching a few interviews and movies that you know who the hell Elliot Page is. It drives me absolutely effing nuts. Just saying. So, yeah. The people, if you really want to spend some time getting kind of angry, just go look on Twitter at the Umbrella Academy announcement that they would not be recasting Elliot Page and that they would be going back and even changing credits for some of Elliot's previous films to reflect Elliot instead of Ellen. And you will get pretty pissed off too. So, yeah, it's a mess. And Nicholas Mandy basically is the goth, misunderstood, potentially lesbian, but maybe bisexual, but definitely into a girl, daughter of Starfire with the undisclosed identity of the father, who wants nothing to do with mama, who dyes her hair black, who looks like she's 5 feet tall, and who's trying to do her own thing, but apparently an enemy is going to come along and mess up her life. So that's my summary of the graphic novel, and it is called I Am Not Starfire. So it should be cool. Let's see here. It should be illegal to Hulk out, given the idiots to have running their mouths. I know there should be like an instant. I want to develop a virtual bitch slap, so my hand just comes out of nowhere and just smacks the shit out of people. I think that'd be awesome. Just because I didn't date anyone in my current life doesn't mean I'm not checking people out when I have the chance. Exactly. It's stupid to assume you know anybody. Some people don't even realize that they're trans, bi, gay, whatever. They don't even realize it because unfortunately in our society, and this is not me being on a soapbox, it's just true. Our society has pre-programmed people to believe that marriage is between a man and a woman. Gender is basically conceived at birth. What you were at birth is what you are. You can't be anything else. You have this path, and if it's not on this path, then you are unnatural and you are wrong. And it's the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard before in my life. So, yeah, virtual bitch slap. If I can get an ATN virtual hand that just comes out and people just say something, you're like, you don't even realize you're hit. It's like a delayed reaction, but there's like a reverb, and then everybody else hears it, and everybody knows. So I'm like, you got your ass hit. Virtual bitch slap. That's what people need. But, you know, I don't have that power. Why are we creating a kid for Starfire when we haven't even seen Blackfire on Titans? I knew someone's going to say that. Cause I have no answers for you, man. I don't have any answers for you. I want to have answers, but so I'm putting my faith in the world. Like, so this graphic novel may be a different Earth, or it's obviously an alternate reality. Because Starfire doesn't have a baby. Or at least doesn't have a little girl named Mandy or a 17-year-old named Mandy. But it's a different world. It's the same thing I'm doing with Kevin Feige. I'm giving Kevin and the MCU the benefit of the doubt because they took my America Chavez and they de-aged her. And I am not one of these hating people on Twitter and stuff. They're like, she's not dark enough. No, I'm just saying it because I love, America Chavez and Kate Bishop's friendship. I love it. They were ride or dies. Our ride or survives is what they call each other. They adore each other. They love each other. Quite frankly, I think there is some shit going on between them that's not even a shipping thing. I think Kate's, she's saying she's straight a little too much. But yeah, as America says, I see the way you look at me and you're not that straight. It's hard for me to visualize this friendship between a 14-year-old and a 24-year-old. It's very hard for me. Very hard. So by the time they get to the Young Avengers in the MCU, yeah, she'll be like maybe 18, 19 in real life. But Haley will be like 28 to 29, potentially 30. Still weird. So I have to keep faith that somebody knows what they're doing in these universes. And if not, then I just won't like it. So I don't know how to answer that question other than because. Is Starfire's daughter on Titans? No, Serenity. This is going to be a graphic novel called I Am Not Starfire. So it's a whole different thing. Not even the same universe as Titans. So But it's interesting because I really would love to know who the daddy is. And I hope they address that because, I mean, I think it's Grayson. Somebody brought up Roy Harper. Really, it could be anybody. But it's interesting. It is an interesting take. Of all the people they could write a book about from Titans having a kid. I guess the Raven would have been interesting though. But Starfire is the least likely, of me to have a Goff. I don't care. I'm more like, it's basically like she gave birth to Raven. Like that's so maybe Raven's the father. I don't I know the actress from Babysitter Club, so I'm fine with the casting. Just got to see what her characterizations. Yeah, like I said, this is no hate on her at all. It's just I would have loved to have had that friendship, the banter. Now, to be fair, she's in Doctor Strange's newest movie that's coming up. I don't know if they're going to have the same actress playing her if they make her older. Just like, we had a young Monica Rambeau. We might have we have an older Monica Rambeau now on Disney Plus, and apparently she's going to be in other MCU projects as well. So this could just be her at a certain point, because we all know that Doctor Strange can go through time. So this could just be her as a child. Will we see the Utopian parallel? I don't know. I think that would be awesome. I think they could include that very easily. But I don't know. But I really would love to have the Kate Bishop, America Chavez friendship banter that they have. And I just can't see them play that out with somebody that young, with Haley, because they've already got Haley playing, Kate Bishop in Hawkeye. So that's all. That was the only thing that I was like, oh, I really wish they had not done that. I wish they had made her the same age. That way, if they did cross and they didn't intend to keep this girl as, America Chavez, then, or at least if they're going to have a 14-year-old, then they should not have cast Haley Steinfeld. For Kate Bishop, they should have had somebody younger. That's where I was going with that. Somebody the same age as America. That's where I'm at. If memory serves me correctly, Starfire has been romantically linked to Grayson, Jason, and Roy in the comics. Yes, which there was a fourth. There was another alien dude, and I cannot remember his name. But yeah, the biggest, I think the Endgame have always been Grayson for most people. I always thought that they were Endgame. So if anybody was going to be the daddy, it would be Grayson. But now I'm down with this Raven theory. I'm like, it's totally Raven. I'm like, of course it's Raven. Let's see. Silka's going to be dealing with the age issue alongside with America Chavez, since Pete is young as fuck. Yes. Part of her narrative was being the woman out of time. Now Silk will have to be cast as super young. I agree with that. If they do incorporate Silk, especially since she was held underground in that bunker for like years, and they got bit at the same time in the same place. So like Peter got bit and the spider went and bit her and made them sexually linked to each other. That whole thing is problematic. It's all problematic. It's problematic. So yeah, I can see that. Can you tell me why Cinder thinks that she can play Salem, knowing good and damn well that the Grimm helped her siphon the maiden's powers is still linked to her and inside? Because Cinder is stupid. Like, I hope that answers your question. I don't know what the hell's wrong with Cinder. Cinder is very ambitious. We've known this. Cinder wants to be Salem, and that is the overall problem. Without you, I am nothing, my ass. She wants to be Salem. She wants to have the power for herself. That is it. And she does not like being talked down to by Salem. And Salem talks shit to Cinder every opportunity. Like, she even said in quote, "Oh, she has ideas." Like, whew. So Cinder's act of rebellion was to go and do the opposite of what Salem told her to do. Salem told her point blank, you don't move, breathe, take a shit, anything without me giving you permission. And Cinder's like, okay, so I'm going to go now. Like, I'll have to do all the stuff you told me not to do. So I think it's an act of rebellion. She's very ambitious. She wants to be Salem. That's what's going on with that. Rooster Teeth just announced that after the 19th episode, the episode on the 19th, it's going to become a mid-season finale. Then they're not going to air new episodes until February. So there's that. So that means we're going to be left with a huge cliffhanger, and I'm sure that the Ruby fandom, the part that's really toxic, is probably losing their shit right now. And I didn't mention it in the stories because I didn't feel like adding on to it because I know they're going to be like, how dare we should debut something. So yeah, they're going to lose their shit. So my only one who wants them to skip Silk and say Gwen Stacy got bit by the same spider as Peter. I love Silk, actually. I love her. I don't blame Miss Moon for anything that happens in the Spider-Man community in terms of, you know, how they represent her, because I think they need to represent her. They need to tell Silk's origin story. I really think they just need to have a Silk origin movie. That's what needs to happen. They've been playing with the idea of having a Silk movie for years. Why not just effing do it? It's not hard. Do you know how many Spider-Men and women they're in the Spider-Verse? You literally can do nothing but Spider movies for the next 20 years and you will not run out of content. That is how much that universe has evolved. So having Silk, you know, have her own movie would be amazing. And then you carry on to, you know, actually tell us what the agents of Atlas are and the Atlas Foundation, and then you can introduce the Atlas Foundation, and then all of this stuff could tie in to the bigger picture, which is the MCU. And then we'd have Agents of Atlas, and then they can have a part in the Secret Invasion, and it's just all of it can be blended beautifully together. I don't know. There's just so much potential there. It's so much potential, but I mean, they're probably talking like phase 5, phase 6. We may not even get a Silk movie to phase 10. You know, it's crazy. I don't know why they're not doing it. I don't know why they're not doing it. So many missed opportunities, so many characters. You know, Jessica Drew is a great character. I don't know. We've had Peter Parker so many times. It is ridiculous. Now that Miles Morales' game is doing very good, very well. I think we're going to get a Miles Morales, either movie or spin-off movie, or he will be part of the MCU in some way, because it's stupid not to have Miles in it. But I don't know. I would love a Silk solo movie. Her relationship with Peter reeked of yellow fever. Her relationship with Hector, though, that felt genuine. Hector, though, was a ghost for most of it. So that's going to be interesting. I would love to see that play out. I love her family. I love the dynamic of her family. I'd love to see like all of the stuff, you know, that they went through. Would be awesome. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I did a Silk Spotlight video, so go watch it. It's on the channel. But yeah, I think Silk, I think that would be a blockbuster, honestly. I think that would make a lot of money. But that's just me. The pheromone thing still irked me. The pheromone thing was a problematic situation that nobody should have. But Peter Parker's put into so many effed up situations in the comics that it's just ridiculous. And some are done by him and some are done by the writers, like Superior Spider-Man. Having Doc Ock be in his body and not only be attracted to your own aunt, because remember, Doc Ock was with Aunt May for a while, because Aunt May got around. For an old woman, she got around. But that was his love. And so Doc Ock in her nephew's body is still hitting on Aunt May. That is incestual. That is problematic. And also trying to hit up with Mary Jane. And then they introduced Maria, who is a little person. She's adorable, but it's like Peter, his body was being used for all of these purposes, you know? So of course the pheromone thing, that's just on a list of shit that they've done to Peter. So yeah. And I agree. Jessica Drew film right now. Let me scroll up because it's going. Let's see. My only hope is that Emerald finally gets a clue and Neo pulls her ass to the side and takes the relic behind her back and calls out pull Aladdin style, because I want to see her safe. Yeah. I like Emerald. The only person, if you watch my Ruby reviews, the only person right now that I really despise, guys, Harriet. I cannot stand Harriet. Cannot stand her. I want to shave off her mohawk. She's like a female Flash that needs to be pushed back into the Speed Force and just chained there like forever. She's such an angry character, and I cannot find, and I look for redeeming qualities in characters, guys. I can't find one thing to like about that woman at all. And I'm trying. I just can't. I have hopes for Cypher and Bay, though. I'm still pissed that Doc Ock decided to beat the hell out of Felicia when Peter was legitimately dating her. And then when he got his body back, Felicia nearly killed Peter on the spot. Yeah. I mean, we know Doc Ock is messed up. I mean, he's like Joker in that way. His dad was horrible to him. Joker's father was horrible to him. They both became well, technically Joker became a lot more psychotic, but they both did not develop right in their minds. Both brilliant men using their brilliant minds for evil. So does not shock me. I couldn't think of anything worse than being genetically inclined and want to procreate with a gorgeous person that has the same genetic inclination. I mean, but the problem is, if you're talking about Peter and Cindy, their pheromones wanted to do, it was like the spider pheromones wanted each other. But then essentially it's weird because they were bit by the same spider. So essentially the spider was attracted to itself. I'm like, that's very weird. So no. No. Wanted to be Robin Hill and put the rabbit back in the hat after reading the truth about her. I think I missed something, Nicholas. Wanted to be Robin. Can you explain that? I mean, I think I get what you're saying, but I want to make sure I'm understanding that, because I think my brain farted when you. Okay, let's see. Scrolling up. I'm trying to go up, guys. I promise. Okay. They went back down, but this is funny. Cindy was just an exotic flavor of the month. I mean, yeah, because this is the thing. Some comic books writers actually do very well with representation. And then some, it's obvious they just wanted to have a hot Asian in the room. And I don't know. I'm still on the fence on what exactly Cindy Moon was supposed to be. But I will say, I am not unhappy that we have a Korean American Spider-Woman. I think that that's amazing. And they don't have to keep the pheromone thing. I mean, they really can just do their own thing as long as it's close to her origin story. They don't have to have her wanting to, basically jump Peter whenever she sees him, or have her try to jump her whenever he sees her, which is very interesting. And then maybe her webbing I love her webbing power. Don't get me wrong, but it did look very inappropriate at times in the comic books when she was with Peter. I'm just saying. So yeah, the whole thing with the pheromones and them, it was very problematic to begin with. But I think that's what they were going for, giving Peter a reason to find her and to be drawn to her. They could have done something better, but that's what they did. I don't know, guys. There's so many things. There's so many comic book characters out there that are just amazing and problematic and would be hard to translate into live action. So yeah, but though I am still holding out for a Gen 13 movie. I want them to do a Gen 13 movie. I think that would be really amazing. And also, since it did New Mutants, it would be kind of cool to see a Generation X movie, an actual Generation X, not that crap we got years ago. But we probably won't ever see those. But I'm knocking on invisible wood, because maybe Kevin is listening to me and he's taking this feedback back and he's going to do it. I can dream. Let's see. I'm definitely happy with Silk, but I feel that Dawn Slott's intentions with her introduction was not the best for representation. They had so many reasons. Same spider, similar power, similar age, being friends with Ezekiel, being hunted by... Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. They're essentially the same person. I'm like... And then also during Spider-Verse, she was the one person that was able to find Peter no matter where he was. And I thought that was interesting because of their draw. But yeah, I see what you're saying, but I like that they fleshed her out beyond that problematic storyline to, where she was actually able to be in Agents of Atlas, and she got to, work with different teams. She worked with SHIELD. She worked, she had Mockingbird as like one of her advisors. So she had so many, she did so much outside of Peter that the little that she did with Peter really doesn't matter anymore. It just doesn't. I mean, I thought she was going to be the one that was with Amadeus Cho originally, but instead of, I think he's with Luna Snow. I'm pretty sure it was Luna Snow. It is Luna Snow, isn't it? That he's with in Agents of Atlas. But for some reason, I thought him and Silk made a cute couple, but they're just very good friends. I want her to find, and I understand Hector is still technically a concept, but I really want her to find a life, and her miniseries is a good starting point. But yeah, and you're right. Yeah, Amadeus is 19, but he's still, he's almost legal. It's a comic book. Don't get me started on Atom Smasher and Stargirl. Like, don't get me started. Do you know how many men are with the younger women in the Marvel and DC universes? So yeah, let Cindy have her man. But yeah, it's all problematic, guys. It's problematic. I'm trying to scroll up. I'm sorry, but it is literally fighting me. Move up, move up, move up, move up. It's not moving up. Did Ned Leeds age up without Peter? Yes. Peter's never going to age. I'm like, he's going to look like well, the reason he doesn't age is because he keeps getting recast with younger actors. So yeah, that's the answer to that question. What if there was an alternate universe where Kim, Trini, Aisha, Kat were the blue, red, black, and green Rangers, while Bulk and Skull are the yellow and pink Rangers? That, sir, would be effing amazing. I am very... So Rule Soldier, the Sentai version of Dino, is it Dino Fury? Which, again, why didn't they keep the Knights theme? I don't know. They've made the Green Ranger, who is a guy in the Japanese Sentai Rule Soldier version, a girl. So and I know they're going to start the jokes. We know they're going to do it. They did it with Trini because, they're like the Pink Ranger. Kimberly had the skirt. And Trini, obviously, because in Zoo Ranger, the Yellow Ranger was a boy named Boy. And it's like, why would you cast a female in that role? But I guess they wanted the representation. They're doing the exact same thing. It really is like MMPR. It really is. It's like they went right back to MMPR because they have the very first green female Ranger, but a female is cast in the green suit, but it was traditionally a man, and a smaller man because the Black Ranger and the Green Ranger are brothers in Rule Soldier. So, I mean, it might work out, but it's interesting. It's an interesting choice, especially since this is the last live action TV series for Power Rangers we're going to traditionally get that has any Toei involvement. So, but I like how you think, Wilbert. I think Bulk and Skull as a yellow and pink Ranger would be effing hilarious. Maybe you should reach out to Boom Studios. They write the comics. That might be something they'd be interested in as a whole alternate storyline because they travel to alternate Earths all the damn time. So that would be funny. Question: how do you feel about the possible Forge and Quantum pairing in Captain Marvel? I really like it, but it seems so random, kind of like a Fire Emblem couple. Yeah, I mean, especially since they were. I remember when we first knew of Quantum, I'm pretty sure she and Forge had it out. But you know what? It is a comic book, and comic book couplings have always shocked me. Like when Emma Frost was first flirting with Scott Summers, I was like, what the hell? Like, what just happened? Why did this happen? It's just very odd. And now I'm like, I'm okay with it. So I think because we're still learning who Quantum is, we're still getting more bits and pieces of her story. It's harder for us because I personally want to find out who Kwannon is before we throw another damn love interest, because Matsuo was an asshole. We need to know who she is outside of a man. But I like Forge. And so if you have to be with somebody, I mean, Forge is not a bad choice. And Sora is a perfect combination between the two, and she's hot. So I have no complaints there. But a lot of comic book characters, unfortunately, get thrown together very, very quickly and very easily. So this to me, it does not shock me. It's something that's going to continuously happen. So yeah, I have no problems with it. Let's see here. I mean, literally just handed and gave the man that hacked your entire military and your entire nation on a dime, nearly killed you and everyone on Mantle. Oh, and never gave any sway to your way of thinking and or agenda. Yeah. All the RWBY characters right now are emo as hell. And they're just, I love it. I love the volume. It is definitely dark. But guys, let's be real. Everybody is in their feelings in this volume. Like everyone's in their feelings. You got Ruby and Yang have never had a fight like that. And they're like not even working. They're off doing their own shit. Robin is sitting there with Crow, and they're both reflecting on not making connections with people. You got, Yang being emo saying, do you think she thinks less of me? She's totally talking about Blake. She's not even talking about her sister. She's like, do you think she thinks less of me for not going with them? To try and get the tower up. And here is Jean saying, oh, Ruby's your sister. She loves you no matter what. And of course, Yang just says, yeah, Ruby. I'm like, what is happening? And Ren is actually making me want to take my virtual bitch smack hand through the screen and smack the shit out of him. I understand that his semblance, he's affected by other people. I understand that they've been defeated. They've lost so much. They've lost so many people that he is losing his mind. But he is being a straight up ass. So I don't know what tomorrow's episode is going to be like. I will be reviewing it, but honestly, I'm like, what the hell, Ren? Ren was pissing me off in the last episode. And then poor Nora. Nora's having identity issues. She doesn't know who she is without Ren, and she needs to figure it out because Ren's not doing that great. So she needs to be her own person. So yeah, Ruby's universe is very emo, very, very emo. And honestly, I love it. So let's see here. I was thinking Kwannon and Grey Crow. I can see that. I could put Kwannon with a lot of people. A lot. Because she's hot and I love her. Which I really didn't do that with Betsy. Is that weird? Even though she was in Kwannon's body? A lot of people get mad at me when I say I like Kwannon more than I like Betsy Braddock. And I do. And I mean, again, Betsy being Captain Britain is cool. She's very badass. It's fine. She was Captain Britain before. This is not new. Years and years ago, when the UK had their own title, their own version, our sister company to Marvel, she was Captain Britain. And it was fine, which was why when they brought her over as Psylocke, it's almost like they dumbed down her abilities. Like she was an empath. She couldn't fight. She had no technical or strategical skills. She just sat in Cerebro on her head and was like tech support basically for the X-Men that were out on the field. So she was never really that good until they put her in Kwannon's body. And then all of a sudden she's like badass. And I'm like, but it's really not you. Yeah, your soul is in there, merged a little bit with hers, and you guys split abilities. But like at the end of the day, Kwannon was trained by the hand. She didn't even have to rely on her powers. She was just badass. So like, I don't know. It's always been a thing. It's always been weird for me. So I loved Kwannon or Revanche or whatever else. She said so many names. But now she's Psylocke. I love Kwannon Psylocke more than I liked Betsy. So yeah, just throwing that out there. Let's see. Scroll up a little bit. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry. Whenever somebody types, it goes like 5 questions up. Wait, I think it did scroll down a little. I'm sorry. I read this one. I think I'm right here. Ironwood just damned the entirety of Atlas and Mantle for what he's done. Ironwood has lost every piece of his damn mind. So I mean, there you go. I just told you the main protagonist right now. Everyone thinks it's Salem. No. It's Ironwood, because I think that Ironwood's probably going to make a deal with Salem so he can run Atlas. So it's like, let me have Atlas, and you can have everything else. Like, and I can see him doing that. So because he's out of his damn mind. And I want Winter to finally see that the person she's loyal to is a nut job, and how she didn't see it when he blew away the councilman in the freaking hallway and then walked away. And she's just like, problematic. Since we're shipping, I hope Daredevil is in the She-Hulk series. Yeah. I don't know if she has a love interest. I don't even think they announced that she's going to have a love interest. I do know that people are trying very hard to write a petition, or they're starting a petition to get the rights sent over for Daredevil to Disney, because I guess they want to see something like that, because apparently the Netflix expiration of rights has now come upon us. And so now they can't stop, Matt Murdock from being in anything else. It would be cool if they decided to pick up a new season of the Netflix series, because I actually liked the Daredevil series on Netflix. I liked all the Netflix shows. I mean, yeah, Iron Fist was slow. But for the most part, I love Punisher. I thought Luke Cage. I wasn't that happy with the second season, but it wasn't bad. But I love Luke Cage's first season. There's just a lot. I really, really enjoyed a lot of the, Defender TV series. So I would love to see them move them over to Disney Plus. I think that would be a very good choice. And then by proxy, you could have Daredevil in She-Hulk's TV series. I mean, why not? They were all in the same universe anyway. Let's see here. That, speaking of semblance, Metal is basically dumbing down on his own decisions and tunnel vision, and I fear that the opening, when everyone deserts or gets killed by his insanity, as he will finally see that the only person he can blame is himself. Yep. Oh, like I think since the 19th is more than likely the mid-season finale, we're going to see some major shit. And a lot of people, like right now, the person I feel the sorriest for is Oscar, because he can't help that he's holding Osmond in his soul. You know what I mean? It's like, and he's not even fully awake. And then his whole destiny is to be merged. And it's like, he's getting tortured. Hazel's beating the holy hell out of him. I mean, it's just sad. I feel really bad for Oscar. I really do. I feel bad for Oscar. But it's all going crazy. I hate Betsy so much, but I like her brief alternate reality relationship with the Blob. Yeah. The relationship I always found weird was her and Beast. Not that I think that Beast can't have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever he's into. Their relationship just was really weird to me. I don't know why. It just didn't seem, I don't know. There was no chemistry. I don't get it. I don't get that at all. I really don't. But, I don't hate Betsy. I just think she's boring. Let's see here. Scroll down again. So if I missed something, I'm sorry. Shadowstar is an X Factor. I saw that. But guys, I'm so happy that Wolfsbane is back in Krakoa, even though that's been a thing we've known about in New Mutants. But I love Ronnie, and I'm very happy that she's alive, and I love the New Mutants in general. So I'm very happy, even though I don't think Danny's going to be a leader anymore. And I don't know, Cannonball's not going to be a leader. So I think Ilyana and Cyclops are still running everything. So I am still catching with Krakoa, guys, because again, I work a very stressful job. So I have to read things as I can. So I'm still catching up. But yeah, I'm really, really down for what they're doing. And Hickman is now my hero because I'm loving a lot of the storylines that are coming out of it. And Krakoa as a whole is just very fascinating. I love they have their own language. I just think that's really cool. You are very dedicated when you give them their own language. That's like some Klingon shit right there. So I'm very excited to catch up on all of the wonderfulness that you guys are obviously way ahead of me in. I'm like, Let's see here. Wind Dancer is alive? What? How? Did she have her powers back? Is she Wind Dancer again? I need to know this. I know they resurrected a lot of people because Xavier. I don't know who was it. 5? I think it was the 5 that did it. I'm going by like I think I only read the first issue for Krakoa, like when they were basically establishing resurrections. But yeah, I think there are a few people that I noticed. There's a lot, like there are a lot of citizens of Krakoa, so I know I missed a bunch, but I don't remember seeing Wind Dancer. So I need to know if she's actually Wind Dancer. Does she have her powers back? Like, I need to know. These are things I need to know. The poor baby Oscar didn't ask for this. First finding out you have an ancient entity inside his head and that he was bound to merge with at some point, gets punched by Crow, slammed by Jean and shot off. I know. And now Hazel's taking out all the crap he's mad at Osmond about on him. You, my sister dead because of you. Look what you did to a beacon. Blah, blah, blah. Boy, it's just sad. It's just sad. She was resurrected officially in X Factor. Huh. Okay. Because Beast was a fan of Betsy back when she was on TV, and when she joined the X-Men, he got his shot. Yeah, I remember that. And I remember she was a model. She was a fashion model, and she was a magazine spread model. But I don't know. Being a fan, I mean, you have chemistry. Like it was just weird. It was just weird. Yeah, she's Wind Dancer again. She has her powers back. Yay! Hellion James Keller was there when she got her power. Wow. So Hellion's okay. Cool. Are they all a team now? I've got to get back into this. This is fascinating me. It's like he's retconning all the shit I didn't like, and I like it. Because the problematic thing for me has always been there's a lot of storylines that are problematic, but I always hated that Wolfsbane went through all of this evolution. And then she decided that she didn't want to hurt people anymore. So she allowed herself to be beaten to death for being a mutant. And it's just like, that's how you go out. That whole storyline just pissed me off. Let's see. And now attacked by a Krampus and a flying Grimhound, and later tortured by Ancient Entity's big vengeful ex's wife. Yeah, pretty much. The hashtag save the pine cone. Oh my god. One can only hope that they are a team again, but there are no official plans yet. Reign of X is a thing, though. See, man. Yeah, now that I am officially on vacation until December 22nd, I am hoping I get to basically catch up on all of the comics that I have missed, as well as finally get out of season 2 of Doom Patrol because I am so behind. I haven't even finished season 1 of The Boys, guys. It's been crazy. It has been crazy. The only stuff I've been able to catch up on are the things I've been reviewing, and that's because I watch them early in the morning. And that's why. And normally on a Saturday, which is why two of my biggest reviews that I do are on Saturdays, and they usually are released back to back. Because Yashahime comes out at 5 a.m. and Ruby comes out at 11. And so I can always get those done. But like, it's so hard. It's so hard to get all the other ones done because of my job. My job has me, like even today, I'll just throw it out there. Blurred Without Fear is doing a fundraiser for my job on his Twitch channel. And I probably should link that because he put it up for me because, he's just a swell guy. Let me see if I can find it for you guys. And I'll pop it in the thing. But it is for I work for the National Kidney Foundation. So if you need a kidney transplant or you're on dialysis, we raise money for that. And so he has been nice enough to help me out with a fundraiser. So I'm going to link to the Team Kidney page. And then I'll also look up don't feel pressured to donate if you can't. This is just, the support is just, we need it because especially with COVID, there are a lot of people out there that are struggling. So that's what I do. I have 3 jobs. Besides being a content creator, I'm a voice actor, and then I'm a development coordinator for the National Kidney Foundation. So just putting it out there. So that is a link to the Facebook page. And I'm trying to see if I can get, this is a link to the stream. He's going to be doing it with Kyle Abear, who I had on the stream a couple of weeks ago. You know him as Gohan on Dragon Ball Z and a narrator, and he's Kiba in Naruto and a slew of other characters. He's a lot of, you're just going to have to look at his IMDb page, but voice actor. He's going to be playing, I forgot what game they're playing, but they're going to be playing a game for a fundraiser today. So that is the information if you guys can check it out. I have linked it there. But having said that, this is why I'm always tired and I am always playing catch up on everything. So yay. Let's see. Hadoken. Yes. He is. See, America, they call him Ryu. And then Japan, they call him Liu because they don't have an R. And then other people call him Ryu. So Ryu, or Liu. Street Fighter. He also is official voice for that. Oh, Kyle is. I know that Ren is on the verge of a full breakdown and that no one's got time for, even though Jean got patience of a saint, but I fear that his semblance is expanding due to the training he may be. Yeah. He might be an actual full-blown empath. I think he's actually affected by everybody else's negativity. I mean, I know that's what it is, but I also think his insecurities are harder to control too, because Ren's always had to be the one that kind of stepped back. And it was always Jean who was kind of the one that was losing his shit and pushing people away. And so this is new, but I think what didn't help is when Nora chose to go with Ruby. And I think that was like the thing for that pushed Ren like right in this direction of assholiness. So he needs his girl back. That's basically what I'm saying. He needs his girl. And if he doesn't get his girl, I feel like he's going to explode or kill somebody. That might be what's going to happen in Ruby. But yeah, Ruby is getting good. And after the 19th, we have to wait till February to see how it concludes. So it is a thing. So I didn't realize it. I think we have like literally, we have 3 more episodes and then they go on break. And I think on the 19th, we're all going to be ripping our hair out. Cliffhanger Central. But that is literally all the news I have, guys. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the stream. I'm going to go take my Tylenol soon because sitting in this chair is hurting. And also be on the lookout because I think I told you guys before some of you got in here that I am going to be doing a collaboration video where I'm going to basically interview the creator for the web series Power Rangers Unworthy. So that is coming. Very, very, very happy about that because I love that web series. And also my Crisis parody, once again, will be posted soon. And it is crazier than the first one. So be on the lookout for that. I'm going to try to have the New Mutants. Me and Ernie, Blur Without Fair, did a New Mutants review. I'm going to try and have that out this weekend. That is my goal. So not Saturday, but probably Sunday. So fingers crossed I get that done. If not, it'll be out by Monday. And then I have a few other videos too that I need to get done because I also did a Haunting of Bly's Manor review that's kind of with me, River, and then Jam and Groove all did a review on that, and we just talked mad trash about it. It's just so funny. But I need to get that edited too. So just a lot of videos I got to come roll it out to you. And I'm sorry, but I'm trying. But I'm on vacation, so I can do more videos now. Yay! So I'm excited. But yeah. If you guys have any other questions about anything we talked about, any comments, especially about Elliot Page or any of the other main topics here, please put it below. And I promise you, I will read them and I will get back to you on them because I like comments and I like, for some reason, typing. So let me know. But yeah, thank you for enjoying the stream. I hope you have a very good weekend. Be on the lookout for our Yashahime videos tomorrow and our Ruby videos tomorrow because they will be out tomorrow. Unless the power goes out in my house and I have no control. I'm like, love you guys. I will see you later. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.